Okay, so I want to reiterate one of the points I've been making in the past few months. You do not have to live through a certain experience in order to understand it concretely. This is one of the biggest traps that many people fall into, thinking that a lived experience is going to make you an expert or on something. No lived experience, no education can make you fully an expert, but they may be helpful in gaining a concrete understanding. The thing is, in dialectics, everything always changes, so you never can claim to know everything about a certain subject matter, and this is not your goal. Your goal is only to understand as much as is necessary so that you can observe the pattern of the movement of the substance and later use it to the advantage of the people, not only your own advantage but everybody's advantage. And this has been such a big trap when people rely on lived experience, thinking that this is what's going to make them better organizers, better people, etc., etc. And to an extent, it may be helpful. However, it is very, very limiting to only use your lived experience as the basis of your organizing efforts or your efforts on improving your own life. And what you've got to do instead is learn theory collectively, have direct experiences with the people learning theory. Because in those disagreements that you may have with the people, in those conflicts that you may have with the people, you are going to gain more truth. Not because conflict breeds the truth. It is the kind of questions that you ask yourself and other people, and the honest deliberation of these questions that can help you gain more awareness of the subject matter. And the understanding of the concrete learning processes, they come pretty naturally to us. When we're children, if we're not scared into obedience, if we're not told continuously that the way we think about the world, the way we engage with the world is wrong, then we're going to kind of have this natural ability to be curious, because curiosity is the antidote of fear. And this is what we need to embody. We need to embody curiosity. We have to be curious about why we may have disagreements with certain people, because a lot of what we observe nowadays is due to fear. And I've been talking about this for so long. My husband actually asks me whether I believe everything is just fear. But I think this has become a huge area of focus for me, because I have observed just how much fear has been guiding my own life for many, many, many years prior to me starting to learn Marxist and communist theory. Before that, my entire life was guided by fear. And it's not gone. My fear is not magically cured just because I started learning about Marxism and communism. I still experience a lot of anxiety. I still experience a lot of fear-based reactions. But as I experience them, I am able to utilize the tools that dialectical materialism provides for me and observe myself and see what is happening without reacting, without acting hastily, without coming to big decisions based off of that fear. And what I'm observing in a lot of people, whether online or in real life, people are so used to reacting out of fear. All of the phobias, homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, you name them, all of these phobias are based off of these reactants. When you need a very simple dichotomy of good and evil, these are the bad guys, we are the good guys, let's defeat all the bad guys and then good is going to prevail. We claim to these narratives because we are afraid. We are afraid to face the nuance and the complexity of the world. We are afraid that even if we manage to get rid of all of the bad guys, what if we are the bad guys now? And we need to face these fears. We need to face these fears now, because this is what will help us ask the right questions. Why do we want to organize? Not because we want people to receive a fair wage, not because we want people to have all these unnecessary toys in their houses and have equal opportunity to luxury goods, etc., etc. We want the people to decide themselves, ourselves, what it is we create and why we create it. If we want robots and automation, why? Do we need time to just be lazy all day and do nothing? No, of course not. Nobody actually wants to be lazy. Nobody is actually lazy. Everyone is just stressed out because of the terrible alienation that capitalism causes inevitably. So we want automation, not because we want to free the time for ourselves to just be idle. We want to free this time for ourselves to actually do something that is meaningful to us as a species. We want to look into the sciences more. We want to look into the arts more. We want to spend more quality time with people. We want to be in nature. We want to understand very intimately how nature works. And this is again science. So we want to be able to free our time. So automation and even things like AI can be helpful, but the way they are used now, of course, because we have capitalist production in the majority of the world, we use them as tools to gaining profits. And this is a very, very simple truth, but we get stuck in those little details. We get stuck in all of this lived experience. We get stuck in these moral judgments where we sit down and decide who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, who's right and who's wrong. Everybody is right and wrong at the same time always, okay? And in order to understand what course of action to undertake, you have to see the contradiction. The key contradiction of capitalism is collective production, private ownership, or private distribution, or private consumption. And Marx actually argues that all of these are one process. So the way you consume your goods is inevitably going to be exploitative because of the production. So before we fix that production, nothing else can be ethical. And this is not to say that you have to preoccupy yourself with some kind of purity politic or feel-good politic, but I digress. Just as I keep on saying, the questions of morality are going to fade as we face the truth. The truth is never one-sided. The truth is the multiplicity of the world and not what we have in common, just as Ilyenkov points out in his works on the abstract and the concrete. And Marx does as well. The multiplicity is the unity. We are all one, not because of the common feature that we have. We are all one because we all came from that same genesis. We went through that same genesis. We came out of the same dirt, whatever you want to call it. We came out of the same primal soup, primordial soup. And this is what makes us one, materially and ideally. We are born into this world as the subject of the ideal. We cannot free ourselves from either the ideal or the material unless we all start moving in a certain direction. And it's going to take some time. The transitionary period, I argue, to socialism is going to take at least a couple hundred years or so. Don't quote me on that. This is just my own personal estimate. So meanwhile, what we have to do is we have to be very observant. We have to study the world. We have to study the theory using the dialectical method together with other people so that we do not fall for all of these traps of fear that is caused by alienation, for all of these traps of us versus them, all of these ideological traps that are aplenty all around us, so that we can continue slowly, brick by brick, building the future that we all strive for, that we all want for ourselves and others. So let me know what you think. Hopefully this all made sense. I hope you have a great day today. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Consider support me on Patreon. Do take care of yourself and your community first. Subscribe to me on all the other social media accounts, even though I don't do much there, and I'll talk to you sometime later.